Good morning, soul pleasers. I can't see much at the moment. I'm not sure if you can see me, but I just wanted to say good morning, and I wanted to ask you, has spring sprung where you are? Because I know it's still August and it's still winter, but it just feels amazing to have this sunshine and this warmth, and of course to be in this amazing background. I'll just show you where I'm standing. So you can't get much better than that. But what I wanted to share with you today is just to talk a little bit about the retreat that's coming up in March. Because I was putting myself in the shoes of somebody who has never been to a retreat like the Soul Pleaser retreat. So I was thinking back to my first retreat. So in November 2016, I was doing a business coaching program with Andrew Roberts, and him and his wife Sunny Roberts put on a retreat for all the members of his coaching program, and I felt really drawn to go. So I had no real explanation of why I wanted to go, and I had no idea what to expect. So I was looking forward to it with an open mind, but probably the biggest deal about me going was to put myself first and actually go away from my family for the weekend without it being work related. So it was always easy to go off and do something that I could say, justify, well, I'm earning money from doing this, but there was no outcome that I could evaluate or validate. So instead I was going purely for me. And I think it was possibly one of the first times I've ever done anything that was for nothing else except for me, and not knowing exactly how it was for me. Anyway, the transformation that I had is indescribable, and I look back and I think about why did I have such an amazing transformation? What happened at that retreat? And one of the big things was that we unplugged, so there was no technology allowed. So there was this beautiful silence, and I became completely unavailable, which meant that I reconnected with me, because I wasn't always pulled away from me by being needed by other people and being distracted by Facebook and people's messages and phone calls, and having to know what was going on. The other thing I think was the location. So my first retreat ever was at the Chen Rezik Institute, a Buddhist retreat in Queensland rainforest. And so there was this amazing connection to nature, which has a huge impact on reconnecting with yourself. And then, of course, there was the space made available by the facilitators in the room, Andrew and Sunny, where we were able to contemplate some things about ourselves and our relationships and our lives, where there was the freedom for us to start to think about things differently and really open up. And then at the end of the retreat, Sunny approached me and asked me if I would like to start running Soul Pleaser retreats with her, because I'd already started my Soul Pleaser business, but I'd never thought about running a retreat. And I intuitively said yes, not knowing anything about what it would be like. And we ran our first retreat in April 2017, and it was just amazing. And the results that the women got at the retreat were amazing. But also I remember a dear friend of mine, Kathy Stocks Hall, saying to me, "You're so in your lane." And I just knew what she meant. There's something about me in a retreat where it feels effortless and much bigger than me. I have a very vague idea of what I'm going to talk about, but what I do talk about ends up surprising me. And I really honestly believe that what I end up saying is created by the people in the room. So I share with people what they need to hear. So it isn't something that you could prepare, it's just something that comes through me, which I'm so grateful for. So our last retreat was in June, again at the Chenrezig Institute, and I was just so moved, so inspired, so fulfilled, so grateful for the women who came. They came because they just knew they had to be there. They probably couldn't articulate why. I know the sacrifices they made to be there. Some people had to take some days off work for the travel, and certainly people left, loved ones at home taking care of things that they would normally take care of. But the space and the shifts and the changes in those women just light me up, and I'm just so grateful to be able to do that work. So I was listening to an interview yesterday. Oprah was interviewing Gloria Steinem, the pioneer of women's rights. At the time of the interview, she was 81 years old, and she was sharing how when she was on the road and she would get face to face with women, that there was something about the hormone exchange that allowed real empathy that you can't get on the pages of a book or in a video. And as she said, it doesn't undermine the power of the pages of a book or a video, but there is just something about that face-to-face where all of that beautiful female energy is all in the same room. It's that love, it's that empathy, it's that support for each other that allows the space for the shift. So it's happening because of the group. And what I know for sure is that the right people are there at the right time. And so there's no coincidence about who comes. Everybody that's there is there for themselves, but equally there for each other. And there's an incredible bond that's formed between the group that attend the retreats that lasts well beyond the retreat. So anyway, if any of this feels like it's pulling you, the event is in the announcements at the top of this discussion and also in the events section. It's the 1st till the 3rd of March. We're having it in New South Wales, but it's a short drive from the Brisbane airport. And again, it's a beautiful natural environment. There's an opportunity for us to swim in fresh water, as well as being surrounded by rainforest. So I'm really, really excited about it. And if this feels like it resonates with you, I would love to see you there. Lots of love.